Welcome to the Ladies' Room, where politics meets women's issues, and we're not here to sugarcoat anything. We're diving headfirst into the stories that matter to women, from Washington power plays to battles over our basic rights. It's bold, it's unapologetic, and yeah, it's going to get messy. Because let's face it, the fight for equality always is. Grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's get into it. This is the Ladies' Room.
Hello, friends. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the Ladies' Room. I'm Allison, the Mighty Librarian, and my background is really ugly because I am in a room that I am redecorating for my office/studio. So I just blurred it because the virtual background just looks awful, and we're not going to do that right now. So anyway, how y'all doing? Hi, Sheila. Hi, Cynthia. Ew. So, what I wanted to really talk about today was Fani Willis and her dismissal from being the prosecutor for the Trump, my brain's backfiring, the Trump Georgia election interference case. Which, okay, the man, I promise you, the man could literally, he really could kill somebody on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't get prosecuted. It is amazing. I've never seen anything like it, how this guy gets away. It's not even just like a class or an old rich white guy thing. It's him. It's specifically him. How does he get away with it? It is just wild. Yeah, exactly. Sheila, what in the ever-loving fuck is this about? Like, I was just looking at Google Trends earlier, and I see Fani Willis, and I was like, no, what is this? What now? And then it'll show you like a few of the art news stories that are going around about the topic. I'm sure a lot of you have played around with Google Trends. And I was like, he literally got away with everything. Everything. I wasn't expecting that he would get like jail time. But I did think he would be held somewhat accountable to something. Like, how can you do that much criming and just get away with it? Like, I'm just, like, I don't get speechless very often. But that has left me speechless because I really thought that, I was probably pretty naive in thinking that he would face even walk into the courtroom over it. But I kind of want to go talk a little bit about how, of course, this happens to women where, what Fani did, if you're not really familiar with why she's being dismissed, she had a relationship with one of the other people in her office working on the case. And I don't want to say affair because none of them were married or they were, at the end of their divorce. I'm not really sure his relationship status, but they were two adults, single adults who were interested in one another and they went on vacation with one another, and Republicans saw an opportunity to strike, and it worked. They said that, there was a whole bunch of insinuations that she was using public funds improperly for the vacation. He was bribing her because it was a little sketchy on who paid for what. And in the end, what it comes down to is a black woman went on vacation with somebody from her office, had a relationship with them. And had this been a male, I don't know if there would have been a different outcome on this one, to be honest. There probably would have been probably a little more tolerance for that. When it comes to Trump, I think he like there might have still been the same outcome, because look at Jack Smith, white guy, male, he just basically, but you know what? I take that back. Now that I really said that out loud, he wasn't taken off the case. He just dismissed his own case because he knew what was going to happen. I mean, the Justice Department doesn't indict or try sitting presidents. So, here we are. But on the same respect, I'm also kind of a little pissed off at Fani. And I hate myself that I'm a little pissed off about this. And I was pissed off when I first heard about this because, and it's not right. What I'm going to say is a complete double standard, but she knew she would be scrutinized with a fine-tooth comb. And she already had one instance with, donating like a $5,000 amount to the DNC or the Georgia Democrats. And that was scrutinized very heavily. So she knew with this, she had to cross every T and dot every I. And part of me is angry at her for this, because you know better. You knew that they were going to come after you with any morsel, any shred of thing, regardless if it was bullshit. At the same time, though, it's infuriating because if she was a man, yeah, it's I'm not trying to sound like blame her for, that typical blame the woman attitude. But if this is this high profile of a case where that slippery fuck is gonna do everything he can and people are gonna grant him favors, and Georgia remade the law. They remade the law for this very opportunity. And, just the very appearance of it, it sucks that, I don't know if it was anybody else but Trump, if she would have been removed for the case. Yeah, I know, Cynthia. It's like this catch-22 of it sucks to be a woman, because you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You gotta walk this fine line, but at the same time, we gotta live in the reality that we do. And, that law that Georgia passed about how the a prosecutor can be removed from a case. I mean, Trump's just they opened a can of worms with that. Because, what if, one of his friends down the road gets in trouble in Georgia? What's going to happen then? Yeah, Mike Roman, yeah. So what happens then? And, justice can be evaded so easily with that, because, a prosecutor can be removed for anything, literally anything. So, we're just going to have to see what happens. And I might have to leave early, because there's a big issue with my daughter, and she does wrestling, and she's supposed to be picked up at one place, and then it got changed to another, and my husband left his cell phone at home. So this is going to be fun. So I might have to run early. No, justice doesn't apply to the rich anymore. And it doesn't apply to if you're friends with Donald Trump either, apparently. It's just, it's just really astounding. It is like, and I think we really have to remember this for a few reasons. For the next elections, I mean, yeah, fine. They have to, the public has to really be messaged to about how when you have money, you can get the prosecutor removed. You can have some friend of yours in the governor's office who can pull some strings and then have the prosecutor looked at. And especially if it's a woman or, God forbid, a black female prosecutor, well, too bad, so sad. And like when it went to the appeals, I knew there was really no way, they were gonna, because they're all scared of him. They all just don't want to deal. And it's just it's mind-blowing how we live in 2024 going into 2025, and we're still in a mindset of people are afraid of the king, and they'll just bow down, do what he says to keep their, it's like, you want to be a leader. You have the audacity to claim that women and females are the weaker species and how alpha male you are, but you can't stand up to Grandpa Poops's pants. And it's just absurd. I mean, yeah, exactly, Cynthia. Matt Gaetz can have relations with underage women, but two black adults can't have a relationship. And it's not fair. It is not, yeah, and I just don't know, like, all right, I can understand the fear of him is just wild. I just, like, it's, like, it's too late to, like, not recover, that's not the right word. It's too late because now the people in power are genuinely afraid of him and don't want to have anything to, the thought of going up against him is like, I mean, we have billionaires, Tim Cook, Jeff Bezos, they all went to go bend the knee and, to get their, kiss the ring so they don't get their, products tariffed and taxed. And yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's cheated on her husband many times too. And that's a wild thing. Like, and then she has the audacity to start talking about God and morality and, when you can, like, hold a marriage together without cheating on them for more than 6 months, then talk to us about morality and what's right and wrong, because I hope this doesn't make a loud noise. It's my sparkling water. Yeah, Dems, and it's time that Democrats, like, broke that. Because I might be naive in thinking this, but what I feel like is that if Dems would just say, like, let's say they're being held to some insane standard over something, and that, you know what? I'm going to own something, bring it, just own it. Like, I feel like when you own something, good or bad, like, it takes away somebody's power. It really does. That's why blackmail, it is better to just say, hey, I fucked up bad and this is what happened, than to keep buying into the blackmail, because you just dig yourself in a deeper and deeper hole. So, I never even thought about billionaires are competing with each other. Well, with each other. You know what? I think that's even true. Like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they're supposedly pals, but even they compete against each other. You know, they pledge to donate like half of their fortunes to charity before they pass away. And it seems like billionaires even do that. Like, you know, everything's a competition of who's got the bigger dick. And Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, her name's escaping me. She donated several $billions to various nonprofits and charities. And I think Elon made a comment about it. So then she doubled her money, which I think is fantastic. So, Mackenzie Scott, that's right. I was kind of surprised her name was Mackenzie because she didn't look like a Mackenzie, but. And you know, like, what's that billionaire? Mark Cuban. He seems like, I'm sure he has a dick measuring contest with them all too, but he seems like the most down to earth and who actually has businesses that help the general public, like his drug company that essentially makes transparent pricing and negotiates with these drug producers. He's doing a lot of really great things. And I'm sure he has plenty of yachts and crazy vacations and no, I don't think, yes, Sheila, I don't think any of them like Elon. There's no way. And you know what I noticed too? And I'm sure y'all notice this as well. Everywhere on thumbnails of YouTube, social media, now politicians' social media accounts are saying this about how he is being called President-elect Musk and Vice President Trump. That's going to cause a falling out. And, you know, Trump, he cannot stand to be second fiddle to anybody. He wouldn't even be second fiddle to his own kid. So that should be interesting. I'm hoping for like some knockdown, drag out match that happens with them because that's going to be wild. But, you know, and wasn't Elon not too long ago was talking about unelected bureaucrats, you know, making decisions and running things that they shouldn't. And here he is, a unelected bureaucrat attempting to run the country. And people are serious about nominating him for Speaker of the House. Yeah, right. Right. Can you imagine like how, oh God, no, I honestly don't think, I mean, they can nominate him. I don't think anybody's going to vote for him. I think he's going to piss off one too many people. And if they don't like tell him to go fuck himself, you know, I'm going to find it like, how can you be scared of that dude? You know, like, then you have no business being a leader or like, God, the world is laughing at us, aren't they? Well, he's not really doing anything illegal. He's just lobbying politicians, and that's legal. So, yeah, Elon wants to withhold pay from soldiers. Social security checks won't go out. But it's okay. And then, you know what? I bet you if this government shuts down and soldiers aren't getting paid and social security checks aren't getting mailed out and all of that, I promise you, there's going to be a picture of him at some tropical island or on some yacht, because that is so Elon. To like be in the lap of luxury while people who rely on pennies just get by. So Yes, buying votes is illegal, and I'm surprised that he hasn't faced some sort of consequence. Well, what am I saying? Of course he hasn't faced any consequences. Yeah, I saw that that North Carolina disaster victim fund. Really, anything that the federal government does or pays out, unless you are like critical infrastructure, you're working without pay, essentially. And I mean, yeah, you do see it when the government starts up again, but most people live paycheck to paycheck. And I don't know why Elon feels like he needs to, he's been saying that Americans need to feel the pinch and Americans need to, what are you talking about? We need to feel the pinch. We already feel the pinch every fucking goddamn day of our lives. Like, let it a billionaire telling us that we need to know what it feels. We need to have some skin in the game, or we need to, we're just gonna have to deal with some really hard times before things even out. You know what? Go fuck yourself. I don't need to feel any more hard times. You know why? Because I've already had hard times. Like, I'm fine now, but like, come on, dude. Like, how are you gonna, I think someone calculated that he makes something obscene like $40,000 a day, something wild like that. You make more than somebody's yearly salary sometimes, and you're gonna tell them how they need to live frugally to get through the next few years. And it's like, that's like, I just don't like, I guess I have too much self-awareness. I could never look somebody straight in the eye and say, you know what? You need to learn what some hardship is. And like, they make like $20,000 less a year than me. And that I couldn't ever do to somebody. I don't see how he can make $40,000 a day and like with a straight face, honestly tell somebody what they need to struggle. They're going to feel some pain for a couple of years, but don't worry. In a couple of years, it'll get better. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Like, people voted for Trump because they wanted their the price of eggs to go down yesterday. And you think people are going to, you were sorely mistaken on that one. So I guess we'll, oh, I didn't realize how bad it was in Argentina. Yeah, I knew that they elected somebody from the far right, but I didn't realize that it was going. I didn't think it would be going good for them. I didn't think it was. I didn't realize it was going that bad that quickly, because I think he only took office this year. So. Yep. And so, I really agree with what Tony says about messaging. It really has to be about class, because it really is about class. Like, and I missed that part of the memo too. I'm talking about MAGA and the right, I'm talking about like our level of people. There's some people that are going to worship Donald Trump till the day they die, and they will saw off their last finger for him. But like, if we can get people from the right to finally see like what they're doing, like through examples like the healthcare and all that stuff, then we need to pull them to like find a way to say, hey, come on, like let's fight the actual enemy, which is like billionaires telling us how we need to learn to struggle so we can and some of these people, like these billionaires, some of them are self-made and maybe didn't grow up in rags, but definitely didn't know power and wealth like they do. Like Elon, he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. Like his father owned emerald mines. So he's been you could see what a terrible person he was going to come from from that era of South Africa. But, what surprises me is how quickly you can forget what just being average middle class can be, because Peter Thiel does look insane. Sheila, yes, she does. Peter Thiel looks absolutely freaking insane. That cat, like, he needs to exfoliate, and he was like red and veiny and just like, he didn't look healthy. He didn't look okay. Like something was definitely wrong with that cat, So, of course, Trump praised. Let me put this up. Poverty went up 54% in Argentina after Milei, am I saying that right? Took office, and Trump praised. Of course, Trump praised him. Of course, he did. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I don't want to be like reading, but like I feel like it's kind of like shoot the shit. I had no idea his boyfriend got window cancer. That is wild. That is crazy. Oh, wow. That is so tragic. I hate, and Argentina's had such a, really trying past too. And they were really, up until this cat, they were really, really, doing pretty good. And then, I don't know how, I don't know how did Elon help get him, give a lot of money to, I heard somebody in the comments say that Elon had something to do with him getting elected, or did I misunderstand that? Yeah, it is really crazy. What time is it? Oh, so let's pause on that. I wanted to talk about ERA, and apparently it's been gaining a lot of traction. I thought I saved an article just to put up, but apparently a lot of Democrats, House Democrats are, oh, here it is. Here, I'm going to put up my Substack article on it. So I have a whole bunch of new Substack posts. If you want to take a look at it. But yeah, so this is just, I didn't know ERA started as early as 1923, but yeah, they're urging him to tell the archivist to publish the amendment, essentially. Oh wait, you know what? I'm stupid. There we go. So here it is. So yeah, so I didn't realize it started in 1923, and the archivist is like, I'm not touching it, but I don't think they're just like a ministerial position in this. Really, if Biden says publish it, they have to publish it. It's not like they have any authoritative power over it. So I think the big thing I really want to push is that Republicans would do the exact same thing. If they were in the position of one of their amendments that they had been pushing for years, was, they could get it through, Yeah, I'm hoping Biden just gets a spine for because, you know, you're on your way out. Let the court, this could be something that delays Trump in a lot of shit, because by having this they'll have to take this to court, and he'll have to spend a lot of political capital, a lot of resources and time sending this shit to court. And honestly, I don't really, I can't even say how public react, because I would think that this would cause some potential backlash, like by really fighting down the ERA fiercely. I would think that would cause some backlash, but you know what? I would have thought he wouldn't have gotten elected either. So I guess I'll sit this commentary out, but make them work for it. Like, make them work for it. Make them, if they don't want equal rights, make them work for it. Make them spend a lot of resources and energy on, shooting it down. And, I just don't, dude, I don't understand Biden's, scaredness about it, because A, you're leaving, B, your legacy will be you got the ERA put on the Constitution, and then some asshole named Trump got it taken off, if they decided to take it off. Oh, that's good of him to come to Dump's inauguration. Guys, I can't watch it. I'm sorry. I cannot bring myself to watch the inauguration. I can't even bring myself to listen to really anything about Trump. I just can't. Him speaking. I don't have the stomach. I'm sure I'll get over it. Right now, I'm not. I'm not doing it. Nope. I won't watch it. There's 100,000 other things I would rather do than watch Trump's inauguration. Oh, I'm not MJ. I'm not. Ben Meiselas asked him if he was going to the inauguration, or why has he gone overseas until the 15th? Jesus Christ. We kind of have some problems over here. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get over it, because I'll have to, I'll want to write stuff on it. I'll have to hear that man's voice, but for now, I'm not listening to anything unless I have to. And that's that. But in the Republicans would do the exact same thing. If the shoe was on the other foot, you better believe they would. The Pope, and I get it. Okay, the Pope, the dignitary, whatever. You got problems here, buddy. You have to sign executive orders. We got to get this shit going. It's really disappointing that nothing is getting done, or at least that we've seen, where, trying to slow down Trump's bullshit. Yeah, I saw that, Sheila. I think it is Substack. Yeah, I'm definitely going to log out of that. I don't know if anybody else is going to do it, but I'll do it just as, I really believe Biden needs to, because if he doesn't, what are you worried about? What are so many of these people worried about? Your legacy? Well, guess what? You're not going to have much of a legacy if you don't do something to slow Trump down. All of this isn't going to make it stop, but there's a lot of things you can do to slow it down and make it painful for him to get this shit going. Make them go to court. Make them, have to break the law openly. So, because that'll upset some people. I mean, like fascism, you can't keep very many happy. You can't keep very many people happy for very long. And fascism always pushes people to the edge. And you can only push and push and push somewhere where people are like either going to go over the edge or they're going to fight back and snap out of it. And, they're gonna need to do something. So buckle up, kids. It's gonna get ugly. I just wish, like, Democrats, at least how they're appearing to me, and maybe to you all, they're appearing to me like they've got their heads up their ass, scared, like, acting like they're gonna approve a lot of Trump's picks and all this and that. Take a breather. But you know what? You need to use this opportunity to get shit done. Even if it's not productive shit, like, put roadblocks that they have to go through. It's not going to stop a 4-year term, but at least it'll, just put the freaking roadblocks there that they have to go around them or tear them down, or, if everybody does a little bit of fighting, it's not a whole lot of fighting for each person, and it puts up a really good resistance. And part of me thinks that some of these people want it, or I think that if you've resigned yourself to a Trump presidency, you need to get the fuck out of your seat and not be there, because, like, let's talk about AOC I almost forgot about it. So AOC got edged out by Nancy Pelosi at the last minute by getting Jerry Connolly. I know his last name's Connolly, but he's a Democrat from Virginia. He's a good fighter, but here's the thing. He's almost 80. He has esophageal cancer, which he's going to be doing treatment for. And now Nancy Pelosi got AOC edged out of the House Oversight Committee to be the ranking member. And I literally, like, screamed into a pillow, literally screamed, because I was just like, what in the actual fuck is wrong with you? Like, first of all, Nancy, I will never discredit, any of the accomplishments she's made, her as a speaker, as a congresswoman, and all of that. But for fuck's sake, it's time to let the new guard in, because I know Barry Connolly, or Jerry, is it Jerry or Barry? I think it's Jerry, but anyway, I'll just say his last name. Connolly, I've seen him be a whippersnapper in these committees, like, he's a really good fighter, but the dude has esophageal, and I think it's like stage 3 or 4. So, dude, go take care of yourself. And, I've heard, Cynthia, I'm so sorry to hear that that's what your husband had. I've heard esophageal cancer is pretty aggressive, and a lot of people don't recover from it. So, I don't understand. I know Nancy Pelosi has had a big beef with AOC, but you know what? AOC is played by the rules. And one thing that I absolutely love about AOC is that she breaks down really complex topics into everyday speech that anybody can understand. And not only that, she also gives you a reason of why it matters. Why it should matter to you. And that's, like, getting people to care and to people listen to her. People who don't typically listen to politics listen to her. They want to hear what she has to say. And, she is a great communicator. And she's such a great communicator that she can communicate to anyone. And that's what we need right now. We need people that are fighters, that can communicate well, and not just communicate well, that can communicate to the average person, complex, boring shit, and make them care about it or tell them why they should care. And I agree, Cynthia. Nancy Pelosi is like almost 85. She needs to retire, or she needs to stop sticking her fingers in the pie, because like she's a big reason why Joe Biden stepped down. AOC was a big proponent of keeping Biden. And I was like, I made a YouTube video, kind of saying the same thing. At least people know Biden. A big complaint about Kamala Harris was that people feel like they didn't know her. At least with Joe Biden, people knew them. And I knew like that statistically, when you have inter-party strife, statistically, the other party wins. So, and you can look at it last like probably 100 years of elections. That's exactly what happened. So, I know there's a lot, why Kamala Harris lost is really complicated. There's a lot of different factors. There's a lot of different, I don't think it's any one thing. I think a perfect storm of a lot of different things really helped her, lose the election. On the same token, and this I didn't really see at the time, but looking back, I understand what a big mistake it was. AOC talks to everybody. She talks to small podcasts. She talks to large podcasts. She talks to, people on big networks, little networks, no networks. She really talks to anybody. She joins impromptu protests at the Capitol. Like, so she's a people person, and we need people, to really like get people to care and to coordinate. And, I was just really disappointed. It seems like Nancy Pelosi's move was really ego-based. Like she just didn't want AOC to have the position. And I'm really kind of disappointed in Connolly because, dude, you can't possibly actually want that position. That there was a lot of interference. I don't think was addressed at all. But there was a lot. There were a lot of different things going on, and I don't think the Democratic Party helped at all in a lot going on. I don't think if they weren't so busy nitpicking at each other, they might have been able to notice that Elon might have been hacking the machines. I really think Kamala Harris made a big mistake in not doing the smaller podcasts. And I was one to laugh at Trump for going on like these bizarre like that one lady who has a clock behind her and she reads emails that come to her from God. I don't know her name, but I mean, he went on her podcast and I was just like, what? Like, that's dumb. No, it's not. It's really not, because he was finding low propensity, low info voters to get, and he got them out to vote. So, and that's really how people aren't watching mainstream media anymore. I knew that viewership was declining, but I didn't realize quite how much viewership was declining. I really didn't. I didn't realize, and I should have, because I listen. I listen to a lot of different podcasts for news, a lot of different local news, to be honest. I really have gone back to local news. And Columbus is one of the few cities that still has locally owned, somewhat locally owned news outlets. So yeah, let me put this up. And I don't really know why. Like, I don't understand why men feel like they can't, like, succeed. Like, I don't understand why they feel like they are in this, like, hopeless, dismal, like, women, like, it's just, I don't understand where they are, if you're spending time in your mom's basement playing video games, or you think being an asshole to your lady is going to be helpful in a relationship, like, why are you surprised that shit doesn't work out? There's a lot of problems that I don't know what the answer is, and I don't even know how we begin to solve them. And part of me is like, dudes, grow the fuck up. Like, man, you want to be a bro, man the fuck up. Like, if you're so great, if you're so strong, if you're so smart, go out and show how it's done. Otherwise, like, sit down. Like, I think what it is like, mediocrity doesn't get them anywhere anymore. And they actually have to, like, work harder for their, Yeah, that's a good point, Amy. And they're going to find out real hard that, okay, so let's not give women and minorities opportunities to do something. Like, it's not going to get any better. And that's why we have to stop fighting each other, in different culture wars. And, it's really what it really is. And I'm the first to admit, I did not see it at first, but holy moly cannoli. There is so much, like, top and down economics. So I read this one analogy. What was it? Guys are up economics. You know how it's trickle down? They like to say guys are up economics, where shit just shoots up to the wealthy, Oh, I didn't realize that about Nick Fuentes. That's funny. Nick, if y'all haven't heard, oh wait, sorry, I didn't mean to. Nick Fuentes officially had been arrested for assault, because you can't just open your door and mace somebody or pepper spray them. I don't know why he wasn't arrested sooner, but I guess that cop just didn't want to do. Yeah, Sheila, that's a really good, even Tony, and Tony's a really good read at people. He really is. And I really thought, I didn't realize, and when you kind of look at it from a class warfare structure, a lot of things make so much more sense. So, if we really have, and there's this, let me see if I can walk and chew gum. You guys know I can't, but, there was this one graphic meme I found, and here it is. Oh, goody. Give me a second, guys. I can't walk and shoot. And if you're just listening, it's basically Elon looking into a fish tank while, like, you know, a liberal, purple-haired liberal and a MAGA hat person are fighting, and basically Elon's staring at the fight in the fish tank between the two, and it says, they got you fighting a culture war to stop from fighting a class war. And really, that's the truth. Absolutely. And, you know, how Kamala won. I mean, a lot of how she won. And I think Amy or Sheila, one of you said it, like, Elon contributed massive amounts of money and rigged Twitter to be, you know, focus, you know, promote the content that he wanted. So, I mean, it's really not surprising. I mean, and even Jeff Bezos didn't endorse her, or didn't allow the Washington Post, which he owns, to endorse her. So, you know, why is that? Because if Trump wins, he's going to face damage to his business. Which, you know, I mean, what these people don't realize, what Elon, Jeff Bezos, whoever, whatever, name any billionaire, millionaire, politician, is you will always fall out of favor with your leader. Always. You will eventually hit your limit of what you're willing to do for them. And then you're a traitor. And then you're kicked out. And it happens to every single inner circle member. Go back in history with Hitler especially. Look at Napoleon. Napoleon's another good one. Hitler gets a little overused. So, like Rick Wilson mentioned Napoleon, he's a really good example too. A lot of people forget about him. You know, it will, you know, you can only appease dear leader so long before you eventually walk out of his grace. And, you know, I don't know what to tell people. So, you know, it's definitely going to be interesting. You know, cross your fingers that my podcast grows and like, because I might be out of a job come next year. Who knows? Ooh, sorry, that was loud. I don't know if any of you have a soda stream, but I have one. I'm obsessed with it because I love sparkling water and it saves a ton of money. Just making but like when you first, you know, make it and then put the cap on, like for some reason it's so much louder than like a regular bottle of sparkling. It's so loud when it comes up. So anyway. I love you know, for some reason, sparkling water, like, I don't like to drink regular water. I don't like to drink it. I just don't like it. But for some reason, if you make it fizzy, I can't get enough of it. So, oh, Cynthia, get one. The basic one, I think, is under $100. You can buy a couple of different sizes of you know, these types of bottles. I've tried a couple of the, you know, the syrups, but I really just use it for sparkling water. It's worth every penny. You don't have to keep buying cans of it. Yeah, Ken, he's literally recorded. I forgot what, but basically he's intimidating the Secretary of State to find more votes. And he gets away with it. The bottles, Sheila, Walmart has them, Target, Bed Bath & Beyond. You can also go to the SodaStream website. The caps, my dog ate a bunch of caps. I mean, this is just an FYI. My dog ate my cap, so I could not find just the cap. anywhere. I had to go on SodaStream's website, but yes, you're right. Find doesn't mean create. Yeah. He I don't think he really cared where the votes came from. Thin air, someone's ass. Like he just wanted them there. Yeah, with the also with the SodaStream, my sister has one that you can make like a big like carafe of it too. It has a really cool like pull handle. It's all fancy. Mine's just the basic one, which works perfectly fine. But and you can get the refills at Walmart, Target. There's a mailing service. My husband's father used to do. He used to make his own beer and wine, and he had a business. That was his business for 25 years, and he retired, and he gave us a CO2 tank so we can refill. I had to buy a little adapter thing to make one fit the other, but so yeah, you can even get a big CO2 tank and just refill it on your own. And I looked into buying one. They're a little. I mean, the upfront cost is a bit expensive, but it's much cheaper. I did the math, and it is a lot cheaper to buy your own CO2 tank and refill them than going to Walmart. But there's also a service, Soda Sense, I think it's called, and you can you pay a little bit extra because they got to make money too. But they send you a box and you mail it in, and they'll give you exchange them for I think a tank costs $30, and when you return it, they'll charge you like $15 to fill it. So I think we're almost at the hour. So let's do a little housekeeping. Next week, I think, is the 20th. What is 9 plus 7? Either way, I will be traveling to New York. So I'm going to be visiting my parents. Y'all pray for me. They're Trump voters. But my sister is really cool. She's not. So hopefully everything will. Yes, it is the 26th. I thought so. So I hope you all have a fan-fucking-tastic Christmas. I hope you get all you want. Hope you're able to get your friends, family, kids, who are your fur babies, great presents. And if you're seeing family, Godspeed. I'm right there with you. But if I see the drones by my parents' house, I will be sure to videotape them. I'll even bring like a selfie stick and everything just in case. Thank you, Ken. Of course, I thank you for participating, and come by. I will probably take a couple of weeks off, or I'll have some random pop-ups, but probably after the new year, we'll be back. Deidre had to pick up her son, so she couldn't make it. And hopefully we get Leah back, so we'll be more on point. But Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you so much for watching every week. Some of you are such diehard loyalists, and I thank you for it. I'm just starting out, so it's nice to see that I have, while it's a small following, it is a great one. Yeah, I hope I see it. I'm not even lying. I want it to be aliens. I do. Part of me thinks it's aliens. I totally buy into that, because that aliens. I want them to be aliens, because I want them to take me away to somewhere cool. I'll see if you guys can come too, or at least I'll stream live. How about that, if I can convince them? But anyway, so thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever y'all celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, Happy New Year. If I don't get to, I know it's not Cynthia. Shh, it's aliens. Shh. And you know, if I don't get a chance to come on for anything, have a great New Year, and we'll be back in 2025. And so that's all for now. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.